The following video was pre-recorded on twitch.tv/codedman9000. More information on the stream times at the end of the video. Previously on Stone to Space.
For the start of Chapter 3, we went to Kerbal Space Program to learn how to make rockets so that we could explore the stars for a new home. We began playing on career mode while not knowing anything about what we were doing. After doing some research off-stream, we then moved to the science mode with newfound knowledge. We went to both moons, created communication networks, planes, science missions, a space station, and then ended the game by traveling all the way to Duna in the Antari ship.
After arriving at Duna, our ship the Antares fell apart, causing us to land on Duna and mine its resources so that we could fix the Antari ship. We unlocked various buildings, and also different types of science. After fixing everything but scanners on the ship, we then left the planet behind us as we continued to travel in space.
Hello and welcome to a Twitch Plays Along series called Stone to Space. Today we're in Chapter 3, Space Travel. Today we are playing Oxygen Not Included.
And I have my image of what the base is going to look like, so I can count out exactly where the SPOM is going to be. Now, before I do that, I was trying to avoid using a metal refinery, but I think we are actually going to need to use a metal refinery. And we do have a temporary oxygen source here. So this should be pushing down the carbon dioxide that's all over the place. Everything that's red on the bottom should be carbon dioxide. So if we make a coal generation thing, how much carbon dioxide do we have? We have quite a bit. So we might want to make a carbon sink down here. Just a big wide open area. What do I do first? First, let's play. There's too much polluted water down here for us to mop it. So those icons went away. I remembered that we labeled everything to be mopped. And then we rated out. We don't have a source of water, so eventually this is going to get drained out. We did get this pump connected all the way up to here, but then nowhere else after that. So we could use it to dump some water over here. So temporarily, we're gonna go like this. I think I have to go to there. And then just straight across. I messed up that pipe. I'm gonna fix it. Alright, over time that should help us. We have a person right away. Ooh, we have a supplier. I think we actually might want to get Geraldo. Also, as a reminder, there is a 1,000-point redeem for choosing the name of a duplicate, and also vents and geysers. And so far, we only have 2 duplicates who are named. We have our digger, who is Gino, and we have our builder, who is Willow. So, there are currently 4 duplicates that do not have names, if anyone wants one. And let's go over priorities. Because down here we have a supplier. Then I also put them on storing and tidying. So they'll supply things first, but then they'll go around and clean stuff up. When we get a tidier, it's going to be the opposite. So this is going to be the highest priority, and then these 2 are going to be just higher priority. I also need to put them on second schedule for right now. Once we get 12 people, I'm going to be moving their schedules around so that they match the skill tree. So the first schedule is going to be diggers, builders, and farming. And the second one's going to be ranching, cooking, decorating, and so on. And it looks like Gino... That's not Gino. Gino is completely done with their skills. So as a difficulty for those who weren't here, we are doing a difficulty of each duplicate needs to have 1 interest only. And Gino is our digger, and then they also get supplying and carrying afterwards. So right now, Gino's going to have a skill point that we can use at all times. I am going to put Trivaldo down here. Have fun lurking, Gino. That's the next thing we want. Probably want to get the refinery ready. Along with the carbon. Where should I put it? Do we have more liquid to drop in it? We do... Incapacitated. Oh! Oh, there's a kitten at my feet. Give me 1 second, chat. I have to get them off. Okay. I don't know how they got up that time, because they shouldn't be able to jump anywhere. And what are you doing? You just watching me do stuff? What? The one that's been getting into trouble getting by the curtain is my favorite, unfortunately. The one that learns how to do everything first. So if I don't keep taking them off of this area with the curtains, the other kittens are going to notice them up there and then start doing the same thing. So I have to be vigilant, making sure they don't get up there. I think I need to move the pillow that's at the floor that keeps them from peeing on the rug. I'm not sure. Anyway, get back into this. We're moving the egg over here so that when this poke shell dies, the next one won't hatch right there. I need this the highest priority so Trivaldo can come out there. This is going to be sweep and all so that we can move all this stuff into there. Oh, we don't have a generator here. What happened to the generator? Did I delete that and then just forget to put it back? I don't remember deleting the generator. I know I deleted the power or the automation and put it back in, but I don't remember deleting the generator. Maybe it had damage due to the wrong element? Who knows? Let's take a look at our eggs. The one poke shell, we know about that. There's 2 fish eggs. One of them's way over here. Let's move you way over here. And then there's no hatch. Okay. So the egg has been moved. This one poke shell will not hurt us anymore. Did we finish all the research we need for the spawn? It looks like it. I mean, we'll need this eventually just for the canister, but not right now. This is just me looking for stuff that we need for the spawn. Oh, metal refinery, we're gonna need that. I think after we get the metal refinery, I'll go down here just to get the automatic dispenser so we can set up a an area for us to dump items for a infinite solid storage. And I don't think we need the ranching stuff yet because we don't have a rancher. We have a farmer. Alright, they're almost done building the pipes to get our dirty water turned into clean water. Should probably have this. Oh, it's on a 6. Okay, so it's a higher priority than other stuff. Hearing scratching noises from somewhere. So we should have this working. Waiting for sand. We don't have any... No, we have sand. I think they just didn't put it in there yet. Someone tried moving the egg, but then dropped it halfway. Probably because I couldn't breathe going through this portion. I would really like somebody to go around and clean up the floor. We also have this on a double automation system here. So the battery controls the generator, turns it on and off. But then this down here turns on the pump. So if there is not enough hydrogen in here, it won't give anything to the generator. And hopefully we'll be able to tie in the refinery to this. Now we do have clean water coming down here, so this tank is going to get bigger. Now, why aren't they focusing on mopping? I feel like when I do this, they usually mop quicker. Look at all the pickled meal up here for no reason. These are on a 7. Why? Weird stuff is happening. So this is the bottom floor of this water tank. At some point it's going to be 2 floors deep. Down here is just a carbon sink. For later on. I don't know, chat. I think they're prioritizing weird things. Because we have a supplier. Apparently, Twitch already reviewed that account from earlier and took action on it and emailed me saying that they did. We also now have fire poles, so we can use more cobalt if we want to for that. I'm afraid to do the metal refinery if we're unable to mop up the floor. Oh, we do have the farmer mopping up the floor for some reason. Why is it the farmer instead of the supplier? Seems weird. We really need this portion mopped up because they're running back and forth through this area. What is in here? Hold on. Okay. Now, this bin is going to stay here forever. It is at some point going to be filled with all of the seeds we find because we're going to be ranching pacus down here. Which I guess we wouldn't need a rancher for because they get ranched by getting fed. We would just need someone to put seeds into this. Okay, and I did this just so we can see the full battery power there. It looks like when we use the research, we lose all of our power. Alright, how is this coming along? They did finish mopping up the floor. There's an egg up here. They're going to eventually flop all the way down. So let's come down here and figure out how we're going to make our metal refinery. I think since this is going to be emptied out before this gets filled, we will make our refinery right here. I'm going to do mesh tiles for a moment. And we don't have it unlocked yet, but I'm pretty sure the refinery is 4 blocks. I just dig all this. Pretty sure that's all we need. Now, I was thinking on making a separate collection area, or dropping area, so we collect all the liquid that we put in. It then gets heated up and gets sent out, and a lot of people will just have it cycle in the same pit. But I was thinking about separating it. I don't know if I actually want to go through with all that now, looking at this. We're also going to need better power coming down here. I am going to dig out all of this, which is going to give us issues because we're going to need ladders. I also want to set up this area for how it's going to look. So if I come down here and we put a row of tiles going all the way over to this point. That's the bottom of this floor. And then this stuff is all going to make sense later on. So we have 2 tiles here, 2 spaces, this. And how much room do I need? 7 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more. Like that. And then another 7 tiles. Or I could count from this side. 2, 2, 1. That's it. Who just died? Bert! Why'd you use... Nope, we're not doing that. I told you guys we were gonna do this before. We're not doing deaths. Not on this specific colony. When we do the other 2 maps, we'll accept deaths, but not in this one. So Bert got stuck down in here after placing in a single tile. So now we gotta count this out again. 1, 2, 1, then 7. 1, 2, 1, another 7. 1, skip 2, skip another 1. And then the wall's right there. Okay. And over here, I'm just going to put this ladder all the way up. Do I take the time to move this over? I think I will. Just because it shouldn't be too much for them to do. Alright. I'm gonna set that to be dug, so that when they do get themselves stuck, they're at least able to dig themselves out. This whole area up here is going to be for the poke shells and the water ones. I forget what they're called. The sany shells. We're gonna have both of them, poke shells and sany shells. Poke shells are gonna be for a constant source of lime, and then the sany shells are gonna be so that we can have extra fish. Fish food. Or fish meat, I mean. And they are actually getting this done fairly quickly, now that we have extra people. So I can dig all this out. I'm gonna leave this ladder in until we have this pipe going through, and And then we'll delete everything because they'll be able to reach 2 tiles over. And then dig this out. There's a few tiles that I should probably place in now before we actually make this area ready for what it's going to be used for. So 1 tile there and here. 1 right here, 1 right here. Because they won't be able to reach that spot later on. And we have another person. Oh, another supplier with super hard digging. We're not going to do that yet. Also, bottomless stomach. We're not doing that. So we'll take these seeds. And while we are here, and also because today is a 2.5-hour stream, we are going to do a prediction for the first of 3 pods that we're going to be opening this entire stream. So it's going to be the usual 10 minutes. For clothes, decorations, buildings, or other. I don't think we actually are going to end up having other. I'm pretty sure everything can be labeled as clothes, decorations, or buildings. But just in case I forgot something, there is another. So you have 10 minutes to vote. Or not to vote, to predict what is coming. We have our metal refinery. We can place that down now. Let's just see. Is this 4 blocks? No, it's only 3. Wow. I'm going to wait for them to dig this out. I am a little confused on why they didn't finish doing this. And I think what we are going to do... once this is to the height of the ladders, is we're going to dig this out so we have the carbon sink running all the way across. We could also dig out more of this for the actual range sizes. Also, you are not locked. Okay, it looks like they almost had this area done. We have Gino coming over to finish out digging this. So that should allow more carbon dioxide to leave this area and go into our sink. Why did somebody make a mess? Somebody stuck Willow. You're not stuck there. You are stuck there. Never mind. Gino. Could I have you dig these specific places, please? Just so Willow can get out? No, Gino. Okay, you were just going for breathe. Alright, Willow's gonna start not being able to breathe. There we go. So if Willow's hungry, she should go over and get something to eat. Let's check the skill points just in case this isn't just for Gino. That's research. There we go. It looks like our farmer, Bert, is now completely done. And Gino's finishing the last pieces of dig. And at that point, should be coming down here to dig these out. There's a little bit of polluted water there. Let's also tell them to dig out this portion, just so that the water can drip out this way as well. Just more room for it to spread out is all I'm trying to do. And let's dig those tiles. So that I can actually get through here, because I don't think they'll be able to reach these 2 tiles in the middle. They did put a pipe here, so I guess they probably could have. And there's a pacu in there. Is that the pacu from up here? It is! It hatched! And it fell all the way down. Once this pipe goes in, I want to separate these. You know, let's separate it now so that this has time to drain out before the next pipe gets put in. You can start, because this should be filling the pipe faster than it's emptying. It does look like it is. Alright, and then the power is all the way in, so we can delete all this. And then get rid of all this. After all of this stuff is taken down, we'll then take away the ladders. So as I can see right now, I don't think we would be able to have the refinery here. So I'm going to put ladders here. Hopefully all this liquid will drop far enough down that the refinery won't be flooded, because I'm pretty sure if I put this here, once they build it, it's going to say that it's flooded. Okay, we have these blocks. We're gonna have a vent right there. What is that made out of? That's made out of aluminum. No. Cobalt, please. There's a bunch of stuff that I'm skipping, but the next steps is pretty much just a bunch of doors to separate rooms. Didn't want to put that there. That one door. Some of these are going to be locked, so I'm going to tell them to dig out this one floor. Can also go to here and tell them to do all that. Okay, they did these ladders, so let's go down 4 at a time and delete all those. And the next 4. And the last one. Then all I have to do is place in these tiles. Or these ladders, I mean. We can also continue this down. And put that there. Now, when we plug in this refinery, it's not going to do very well on the power line, the power system here. So it is going to break a bunch of pipes. Why did this get deleted? I'm gonna guess that I did not set this to be in buildings only. I did not. Okay, so hopefully they put that back. And the power's taken out too. Hopefully they do those first. I also did not put the power going to the refinery. Let's do that as well. The refinery is now in. It is not waiting for coolant, apparently. Or not flooded, I mean. I am surprised. Oh, this probably isn't a lot of water. It's only about 50 grams, so that's why. You should have been able to get that. Let's deconstruct this one tile so they can put that vent in. That door is going to be unlocked. The other 3 are going to be locked. But then I also want another set of doors. And we'll dig out the next row once they put these doors. And they should be able to reach this. Yes, they can. Okay. Let's check skill points. Our researcher can now start getting supplying. And we almost have the refinery ready. So what I could do right now is queue this up for... Let's do 2,000 kilograms. We're gonna need to get more cobalt can already tell. Let's dig these 2 tiles and label this guy to be killed again. So Gina should be able to get all the way up there. Okay, you get locked. This one gets locked. This gets put back. You get locked. This will get locked later. And you get locked. So it may seem weird right now that this is locked and the top one isn't. And honestly, I don't remember why I have it like that. I think this is just so that they could step up here to build stuff in this area, since I didn't build it this way. And we now have the oil refinery started. Or not the oil refinery, the regular refinery. Let's dig out more of this. I also want to move this egg to this side. Because we're going to put some water in here. And the prediction is now done. Somebody finally put 69 points into decorations. Now, I would take rocketry. They're a kitchen menace, which is fine to me. Other than that, they don't have any, like, other issues. We could also take the 3 shinebug eggs, but we already have a ranch of at least 4 shinebugs right now. So we're fine with that. We could take the aluminum. We do not have an aluminum volcano on this asteroid. So I think I will take this. Because we don't really need rocketry right now. We can hold off on getting that specific dupe. And now that we're doing this, it looks like the polluted water got hot enough that it turned into regular water. Which is kind of an issue. Now that we have all of these, everything is going to be getting a 3rd door. This is going to be filled with water. This is not. Okay. And this is not getting filled. So pretty much the water that we're putting in here is getting taken straight into our electrolyzer for air. And now that we have these, are there any other doors I want to lock? I do not want to lock these. I do... Did that just say aluminum? No. I do want 2 tiles right here. And with that, we could put incubators in here automatically. Because these 2 spots are going to be for incubators. They're not going to be powered. Because we're only going to need a maximum of 4 poke shells. We don't need a full ranch. I don't think this is big enough for a full ranch anyway. Let's put in the last 2 doors. We can then tell them to lock these. And this one... No, that one stays open so they can get up here. Okay, let's dig those out. Dig these out. And dig this out. That should allow them to build in all the tiles that they can see. Down here, we are going to place in the tiles needed for this, which is our bottom floor. We also have these. Let's push it up like this. And I'm going to put a tile here so they can still get in. Dig that one tile. Alright, they dug out everything, so they should be putting in the tiles over time. This water is only 30 degrees. It's not too bad. Alright, we're not locking any other doors. We should be fine. The prediction is up. I did get sidetracked, so let's pause for a second. Like I said before, there's 69 points into decorations. Let's open the first pot of today. And it is gloves. So unfortunately, the person that put 69 points lost those 69 points. Let's make that as close and complete. Alright, what is next? They are still slowly doing the refinery. We don't have enough people for them to prioritize doing it. So for a while, they're just going to do it occasionally. We do have our first break in the power. So we might want to spend our cobalt on fixing up the power network before doing everything else. Which is probably going to take quite a while. Yeah, because it goes all the way in here. Well, this is temporary anyway. Excuse me. We could make a redundant system over here so it bypasses this and just goes straight across there, but I don't know if we need it. And it's only breaking when we use the refinery. So I think we're just going to wait for this to be done. Now, unfortunately, we have not drained this area enough that there isn't a liquid up top. We also did get this built up. If they put this one tile in, I should be able to put another tile here and be able to mop all that up. I'm going to put that on the 6 just so they did build it first. There we go. Let's get all the insulated tiles right there. I could insulate this whole bottom portion. But because it's not too hot, I'm not too worried about it. I do, on the other hand, want to figure out how I'm going to get that separated. They were trying to get up here. If I let this water go, where does it end up? Oh, this is where the regular water came from. Okay, that makes sense. Let's dig all this out. I think Bert is coming up here to try and take out the slug. Yep. Now we have a tiny bit of meat that we can use. Gino's now digging this all out. We can get all of the remaining cobalt from this area. And that should allow them to get up here. Unless I'm wrong. We have another break in the power. And now this should be moppable. The whole thing isn't. But at least Steve is trying. We do now have a third tile of water. So we are filling this up a little bit faster than we are using air. Right. It's almost flattened out enough that we can mop the entire area. I'm going to put this here. And then we need to do the same here. Alright, this fizzled all the way out. We're just going to need to dig this out a little bit better. So I am going to leave this ladder here and all the piping going up that way and across. But I'm also going to put another ladder over here. And dig out this entire area. This is a volcano, so I'm trying to stay away from that. So let's go like this. They also can't reach that one layer there. Which means they won't be able to reach this. So what I'm going to do is cancel that one tile. Alright, Willow's coming in to try and finish up the rest of the stuff. I am going to dig out that entire area. How are they doing on the liquid over here? Not too bad. It was a lot of liquid. We have Travaldo coming over here to supply the items for the two ladders. Hopefully Willow can come down here and build them. Although she is putting everything in here. So I don't know what she's going to choose to do first. Gino, on the other hand, is trying their best to get everything done. I'm going to dig that layer as well. And I think I am going to cancel all of this. So that we can do this the safe way. And Gina's going to do these before they come down here, so I'm not going to do this yet. Another pod. Hatch eggs. You know, we have a full half ranch already. I don't think we need more hatch. We should have 4 hatches at least. I know one is down here. But it should be enough. I am going to tell them to sweep all that. Since there is a hatch down here, I don't want the hatch to be eating everything. We're going to do the same thing to Hatch Ranch. Now that we dug this out, the water is dropping. Let's do another 4. I also put the ladders in over here so they can dig this out as well. We have the tiles out. Do we need to put tiles anywhere else? I think everything is completed. We just need to dig all this. Have fun with the ads. Yeah, we do have one hatch down here. Once they give us an egg, they'll go back up here. What did you just come down here to do? Oh, you grabbed eggshells for the lime. Okay. Seems like a weird thing to prioritize. Alright, Gino's come down here. There is a Venomoth in chat. I know I've seen that before. Don't know if I've caught it. Venomoth is Gen 1. Looks like I did catch a Venomoth before. And there was another bot. Okay, we're gonna have to dig that out so they can get back up here once they put the ladders in to come down here. I would dig this tile so they can get up here. Actually, they might be able to get up here once they dig these. Anyway. Who was suffocating? There's no suffocating allowed anymore. I just turned off the air conditioner. I got a little cold when it was running. How is our oxygen? We have a mixture of polluted and regular oxygen. It's not too bad. Breathability, on the other hand, is a little bad because it's mixing with the carbon dioxide over here. And that's because we don't have a decent sink for carbon dioxide. Don't know what to do. They did finish all this, so those ranches are kind of ready. Welcome back from the ads, everyone. We didn't do too much. Just minor progression. I'm waiting for them to mop everything on the bottom level of their base before we continue building the or digging out the tunnel. We do have a shine bug egg. Where's that at? In the ranch. Awesome. There is a little bit of water right there that they're probably running through. They also have all this that they're probably running through. See an egg. How much cobalt ore do we have? 6 tons. We have 725 cobalt ore, which I'm guessing is some left over from when we did all this. All right. So normally in my bathrooms, I do a 3 building system, and then I do 3 showers and a water cleaning area. But what I did in the last time that I did this map is I combined all the dirty water from the toilets with dirty water coming in from over here. So somewhere over here is a polluted water vent. We're going to be combining the bathroom water with that down this area. I see another morgue over here. That seems ironic, being in chlorine. I am purposely keeping this one morgue alive as well. They don't eat anything, right? No, they just make polluted oxygen occasionally. Okay. And then all of this should be able to get over here now. It'll do even better now that we have all those liquids mopped up. Deconstruct this. Gino's working his hardest to get that done. I am also going to dig out all of this. Don't know if I want to dig this out. I think we do not want to dig that out. And instead, let's not do those 2 tiles so that when carbon dioxide comes down here, it can go down into here into this. We're going to leave this open so that Pips can hopefully plant more of the oxyfern plants here and keep our carbon down for as long as we can without a carbon skinner. I also don't know how much cobalt we're going to need. We do have cobalt volcanoes that we'll be able to tap into later on, which are not going to be automated at first because it's going to take us a while to get aqua tuners and steam powered stuff. For the most part, we are staying pretty cool because everything we dug into went straight from slightly warmer to cold. Okay, Gina just finished digging out this last piece. Once he digs all this out, that should help even more carbon dioxide get around this area. I should be able to deconstruct all this. I think it's Willow that has to do that. No, it's anyone. That's what I thought. But for some reason they weren't doing that. Gino is almost done digging out these last 8 tiles. What else are we gonna set up? I think we should start switching out our power. We could do it all out of lead, but we don't have a lot of lead. We have this little bit here that has some lead in it. We could go into this oil biome and get more lead from that. I think for the most part, we're just gonna do stuff slowly here. So if I do that, and that, this is gonna loop back around. All right. Can't really get in here without destroying that one tile, so what I think I'm gonna do instead is dig this one tile so they can climb in here and still be able to do stuff in here. In the meantime, I'm gonna tell them to replace all these. We have another pod here. Pipsqueak, Mirthleaf. We'll do that instead. I am going to have plants in each of the bedrooms as their decoration thing. It is going to be cacti. And I'm very happy that they're using the nature reserve without me telling them to do that. I was worried that leaving this open would mean that they would come down here first instead of choosing this door. But it looks like they're choosing the door that they're closest to. Let's check our skills. Willow. Oh, this isn't Willow, this is the mechatronics engineer, who now has mechatronics engineering. We could automatically go into solid transportation, conveyor rails. Travaldo is also done now. They are top tier supplier. Gina, of course, already has that extra skill point that we could use. We're not going to put them in another skill point. Okay, now we should have Gino come down here and dig this one tile, which will allow us to get in here. We'll be able to sweep up all the extra stuff that's in here. If I just do another sweep command. This may also allow oxygen to leave this area quicker. How is the oxygen up here? This is hovering around 1,800 grams. This is 700, so this is like 1,000 less. Would it be beneficial to put an airflow tile here? So that they have more than one tile to get out? Probably. I think we should do that. Now, since this is a temporary area, I'm going to do this out of aluminum. Also going to mean that the hatch stays awake. Except for over here. But never mind. The hatch will have a place to sleep in. Can they go down and over? Because I really don't want the hatch to be able to come all the way out here. Sweep all that up again. How is the power in the other places? We have the food area is not yet upgraded. Now it is. Well, for the most part. Now why aren't they doing these? I'm also surprised they didn't do the wires at the refinery. So they're choosing weird things to do first. Okay, now Willow does most of them. And now with these airflow tiles, even though carbon dioxide is coming in here, it should mean that oxygen can leave quicker. And Gino's having a hard time digging all this out because of where it is and how much carbon dioxide he has to walk through. Along with the fact that he has slime lung, which is making his breathing longer, or making him need to breathe more. We're still getting some power issue. Let's continue adding conductive wires. Can I go all the way to here? Okay, what about this stuff? It's 25 per tile, so I would have to do these 4. Can't reach that far, okay. But they are able to do all this. Doesn't look like the hatch can go down and to the right, so we're fine here. I also don't know why I'm yawning so much, sorry about that. I just toggle this off and on so that we can have more space to put stuff in. And it looks like, aside from over here, they did finish upgrading all the wiring. This is also almost filled. We are going to end up drowning a pip. Pip could stop moving. There we go. This pip is about half the age. I could open this. It will mean that a Pacu could swim over here and get stuck in this tile. We might be okay. Let's take a look at our eggs. There's 2 eggs in there, I can see them. And there's 1 Pacu egg, way out here. Let's put you in here. I'm opening this door so we can at least attempt to save this pip. Gino's almost done digging through this. There's the one tile needed. And that just means that this oxyfern is now working with the rest of these. Where are you going with whatever seed you have? Was that an oxyfern? No, it was mealwood. Okay. Alright, they finished all up in here. We do have almost 400. Oh, we do now have 400 pieces of cobalt. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now everything on the left side is connected. We just have to get all the way to the right. So, should we, in the meantime, dig out more stuff for our base? Right now we're preparing to get our SPOM ready, but I need a lot of refined metal, and in order to get refined metal easily we need to have better power, or else we're going to be spending most of our cobalt just fixing the wires, which is not something I want to do. So I think in the meantime we're going to go around and fix all the tiles that need to be floored, which I'm going to pause because this is the easiest way to do it. All this. We then have one more floor. And then the next thing, to just cancel all the replacements of airflow tiles, as well as these tiles that we were going to place in this one and this one. Then grab the airflow tiles. Then deconstruct. And dig. And at this point we can unpause. Up here we should probably also just go like this so that it can do stuff up here. That's a little bit of stuff for them to do. And at that point the bedrooms are complete, I think. Well, I mean 4 rows out of 6 are complete. Looks like Gino is prioritizing the very top floor first, which is fine. Us also putting in the flooring on the right side means that we could change our power system or power connections. Now, the last time I built this thing, you know, our little pod area, I had food mixed in with the colony. So there were some farms in here. I think with you guys, I'm going to put all the farming out here somewhere. So we're going to need a hot area and a cold area. So I'm just going to have them mixed together. There's going to have to be a double liquid lock so that it doesn't transfer thermals outside. Then after that, it should be fine. Now they are slowly getting the flooring down. I could also put in all the doors. And then also the beds. Can't put a bed there. I see that this is incorrect. What happened here? This must have been a placeholder for something earlier on. I don't remember doing that. I also want to check the metal on it. Oh, you can't see metal on these. Wait a minute, why are these aluminum? Why are they aluminum? I thought I changed all of them. Maybe I placed them down after losing all the cobalt ore, so it just automatically went to aluminum. Hopefully they place these doors in relatively fast so that these bedrooms can be counted as a bedroom. Alright, that should be good. I know this is aluminum ore, but that's a temporary placeholder. It's not going to be there forever. Alright, I'm going to let them finish what they're doing before I add in the next set of doors, because I don't think that it can get to everything quick enough. So I'm giving them a moment to do everything they need to do. Here's another pod. Ooh, we got Joya seeds, and we got another operator. Joya seeds or food. We are slowly losing our food, but I think we can take Joya seeds for now. How much food do we have right here? 5 duplicants worth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have enough for all 5 people. They're just not all in the same area. Or all 6 people, I mean. We're not going to be eating this much meal lice. At some point, we are going to have a mealwood farm. But it's going to be for rocket stuff. It's not going to be for everyday eating. Alright. What are we getting done next? Looks like Gino's still digging out this area. Now they can't get out. Because these 2 tiles are empty now. Okay, this floor is done. They can't get cobalt ore because it's all out here. Or it's right here. This is where all of our cobalt is. So they need to place this in. I'm gonna high prioritize that one tile. Wait a minute, they can get out from the bottom. Forgot about that. But at least now they have that one tile in. So they can get back out here for cobalt and do all the doors. Lock that one. Willow, focus on the doors. Okay, I'm gonna set up all these doors. We'll get to them when they get to it. Willow just went through all of those very fast. Why did you do this one door and then go all the way around for this? Willow, what are you doing? Okay, lock that door. Lock this door. It makes sense that they're doing all the doors up here since it's the closest to that. But the fact that they went all the way around, passing these 2 tiles to get to this one tile. Find it weird. They're doing it again. Only that tile makes sense because it's the first one they pass. And it looks like they couldn't dig out that one tile. That reminds me, Willow does have 1 point, and they can get into better digging. So they are going to go all the way up to super hard digging, but then they're not going to go any further because I don't think they need to dig out diamond and obsidian. Okay. So they should have some bedrooms. No, this is all one big room. This needs to be a room as well. I want to tell Gina to dig out all of this, which is going to get us into here. So I'm going to be selective on how we dig out this area because I want them to get up here and collect all of that stuff. I think I want... How do I want them to get up here? Like this? This would work. Because they can get over here, then they can jump down and go up 2 tiles to get up this way. Just so they can get these hexalin fruit. It also means that the hydrogen should sink, or I guess rise up to this point, pushing all the oxygen downwards. We are going to have to move all of this water. So the polluted water and the salt water, they're going to have to be put somewhere else. I would like to put them in this one area, but I don't think we have enough room for all of it. We'll figure it out later. We probably will end up dropping it all down here, which would mean that we need to dig out this more. There's nosh beans down here. We need to make sure to not dig every single nosh sprout, because we will not get them in the pod. How much cobalt do we have? 300. They're not all done this, but that's because they're mostly focused on this area. In terms of this area, it is almost done. It looks like Willow's finishing up this area down here, the flooring, which is fine. They're both semi-important. This is going to be moved, so that's why that's aluminum. Skill scrubber's not going to always be there. We're not always going to have a skill scrubber. Right, they took out the excellent fruit, but they didn't move it. Why are they not prioritizing putting food in here? Oh, this one doesn't have excellent fruit. And they're both the same. That's why they're not putting stuff in here. Okay, this one on the left is supposed to be everything that can be rotted. And the one on the right is supposed to be everything that can't rot. Like hexalin fruit, nutrient bar, swamp shard heart. There's a fourth one, but I don't remember what it's called. That makes sense. We weren't covering everything. Oh, and pickled meal, that's another thing that can go over here. Okay, we should be getting that better now. Let's take a look at our eggs, make sure we don't have anything outside of this area. I see 2 Pacu eggs in here now. No hatch. What are you doing? Hi. Are you stuck? No, you're not stuck. Okay. There's a kitten at the feet of my chair, and their one claw looked like they were stuck in the rug that I have on top of my carpet. There's a Wug Trio in chat, if anyone wants a weird worm-looking thing. I don't even know how to describe it other than that. Alright, I purposely waited a little bit. There is an egg right here. Knew I could see the egg. move you to here before we dig out that tile. Actually, we can dig that out now. All of that and all of this. Then we'll bring that down here. Okay, they have more doors here. It's not all of them, but it's most of them. And hopefully someone's going to come around here and start locking everything. Up top of these beds is pretty much the same system. So, air, air, air. On this one, there's only one airflow tile. Because there's going to be a small room here. This is going to be one big entertainment room. Just for fun. I do attempt to try and make every room that's on here possible, and I think the one that I'm thinking of is this one. Recreation room. That's going to be right above here. This is going to be a massage clinic. And then I also have a hospital right above the bathroom, which is not really needed for normal gameplay, but I enjoy having it. Oh, we also want airflow tiles right there. And then aside from this specific floor here, this is the completed area on the right. And then we work on more of the middle. And we have the left is pretty much just all ranches. We have ranches. Right here is going to be Atmos suits. And right above that is all the SPOM. Right here is going to be a hospital. There's going to be a crafting area. So Atmos suits, shirts, pants, stuff like that. On the right side of it is going to be medicine related stuff. And then right here is going to be where our science room is. Not this floor, but the one right above it is science. Which is going to have all 4 of our science buildings. So we're just waiting a little bit longer for that. And it looks like our fish area is now almost full. We have 4 tiles of water. So it should mean that this is finishing off all the water that it needs down here. Cobalt, on the other hand, we do have some that we can continue adding. So how far can this get me? That's not what I want to do. Can I get to the pod? I can. Can I get to this? I can as well. I can also get to the battery. Okay, so we're getting closer. Which is helpful because I kind of want to just go straight across here. It should save on our stuff. Because we'll be going down here and then only one line going up to this. The only issue is we're not going to get anything back from deleting all this. Oh, we have stuff here. Okay, we're going to have to go up for that. Later on, we are going to be making a spider web of wires. There's going to be 5 different power systems coming into this area. Okay, it looks like they did pretty much all this stuff up here. Let's mop up that little bit of water. And Mama is behind me, feeding the kittens. You can see her in the camera. Just a big pile of fur. Now, why isn't anyone coming over here and locking the doors? Usually I have that locked a lot quicker. I also didn't finish this. Maybe there's just too many tasks around. Yeah, there's probably too many things going on. There's a fifth arbor tree right here. Oh, that's because our pip got out. Let's lock this very quickly. Somebody please, before Pacus get out. So we saved the pip. Once we get the pip egg for this pip, we'll move the seeds down to here. Where do I put my storage anyway? Oh, not that far away. Okay. Let's make our storage box. What is this? This is our storage box for things that don't spoil. Okay, that's why these are the same. All of this stuff should be down here. Which is actually where we want to put our storage. I do that for right now. I'm also going to put some airflow tiles over here. Right there. This should all be mesh tiles, because occasionally this is going to overflow. And having this all mesh tiles means that they won't go on top of the tiles. You know, instead of doing this, why don't I copy this over here? Hold on a second. Because then we can get rid of this, which is in the way of us anyway. And I'm going to deconstruct this because we're going to need to get this. Let's check our skills. You have 1, Gino has 2. Deconstruct that. I want to put a bottle emptier right here. And water. Enable auto bottle. Put that on a 6 so that I do it before these. We're pretty much going to fill this with water just so that things don't off-gas. We are still doing the power. We did get one person to do another thing of cobalt. I think we're gonna let Willow catch up to what we're doing before we put more stuff in. Okay, now that we have some mesh tiles, we should be able to tell that we don't have as much water as I thought we did. It's not full up to this point. We are still filling up, though. I am surprised. I thought we were using it more than we were creating it. Which means that I can probably drop down another thing of water into this area. If I were to do that, how would I? I think I want to do this. Let's actually do this whole thing. And I am going to place in ladders just to make them able to climb up faster. That can be done whenever. They really don't like doing tidying tasks. This and sweeping. By the time they get over to all this stuff, the hatch is going to have eaten it all. Okay, Willa finished this whole floor. We could tell Willow to do this as well. There's nothing stopping her from doing it. And at that point, we might as well do everything down here. Just for airflow, I think for now I'm going to leave this opened. And we ran out of cobalt. Okay. I need ladders going all the way up here. All those, this, then work your way over here. And we need to dig out this whole portion. Which means I need ladders right there. And hopefully they're prioritizing this area first. Let's dig these two so they don't have to keep going far away. This should overflow over to here if it's not already raising up both sides. It is, but I think it's going to fill up this side first and then flow over. And this whole level here shouldn't be too much more water than it can handle. This also does not have a tile underneath it anymore, so let's do this. That's our polluted water dump for if there's stuff on the ground. We do now have this. So we'll put one in. This is going to be the storage for this area. So we're going to do a mass sweep, and it's only going to go into this area. We do have to make sure that some things do not go in there, like liquefiables and... We can put slime there, but we're not going to put polluted dirt in there because that's going to be fed to our poke shells. Alright, what is Willa focusing on now? Going up here, which is okay because we need that cobalt. We have another pod. We should probably do a prediction as well. Speaking of liquefiables, there's an ice. We're going to take the food because we're actually getting a little low in food. Let's start the next prediction. I am actually going to take other off of the list because I don't think we're going to need it. Let me pause for a second and take a look. How do I look at that stuff? Supply closet? Don't want claim blueprints. We want all. Let's look through this. So we have clothing, building would be wallpaper, or wallpaper could be decorations as well. But it's a tile. So I'm going to say wallpapers is considered building for our 3-option thing. And then decorations, artwork, and joy responses, which were the only 2 that I knew ahead of time. So, if we were going to do 4 responses, we probably would do the tops and bottoms and then shirts, gloves and shoes in one thing. I don't think I'm going to make Atmos suits different. Don't remember getting these. Oh, they're from the DLCs. That's why I don't remember getting them. I did see a double. I don't think that recycled it. Why does it still say 2? Still says 2. Did I not hit recycle? I don't want to hit it twice just in case it did get put in. Okay. So we're going to do these 3 options. Clothing, decorations, buildings. You have 10 minutes to vote or to predict. Right after that, we will get another prediction going because we only have about a half hour before we raid out. And Willow started stuff down here but then didn't finish it, so now some of our plants are not growing. Where is Willow? There's a cacti in chat if anyone wants a cactus. You have a few seconds to try and catch it if you want it. Hi, Mama. It is almost time to feed the cats. Okay, here's Willow. She's back. I really would have preferred Willow to finish up all this stuff first. But I guess this is somewhat equally as important. They are still doing this. So this one tile just needs one more thing of water, and then we put a little bit up here. And that'll be it for the whole thing. That should be the last bottle for this one tile. We don't really need to fill it up this much. Oh, that apparently, oh, that's grams, not kilograms. Okay. I'm gonna let them put in another bottle there. And then that's it, that we quote-unquote need. Alright, and then the stuff that's up here is gonna stay like this until we get rid of the food down here. This goes over here. For right now, it's connected into power because that's where the power line is. It's not going to be powered. And then Willow should be able to focus on other areas, but they might do stuff down here as well. We have our poke shell hatched. Alright, this is going to be sweep all, no liquefiable. You know, let me go through this because there's going to be a lot of stuff that we're not actually putting in here. Agriculture. We don't want phosphorite. Consumable ore. No to both. Cultivatable soil. We have pips, so we're gonna have a source of dirt. I don't think we need to cancel those out. Filtration we are gonna need. Industrial. Yes. Metal ore, we want ores. Miscellaneous, yes. Down here. No to wood. No to rot, no to slime. No eggshell, no poke-shell molts, no polluted dirt. All this stuff is either going to be food or power for something else. Raw minerals, we do want all of them. Refined metal, we'll do all. And seeds, no. Clothing, yes. Just in case we find clothing and we don't have a duplicate for it. And hobby settings right there. So now that's on a normal setting, and we'll only ask for things when we do a sweep command. This area is still draining out. It's down to the regular water at this point. What was Willow building this day? Can't tell because all of this, except for this last tile, says that it's still requesting the igneous spark. Maybe they put it in here. Okay. You know what? This one airflow tile might be better suited for over here. Oh, that's right. This area is too hard for Willow to dig out. So Gino has to come over here to dig it. They also finished getting everything from there. Let's come up here all the way to the top, unmark that and this. We do have a goldfish down here. So pretty soon we're gonna have to do a sweep command. You know what? What I could do right now is a sweep command. I don't want to put a second. I was gonna put a second container here for sand, but we don't really need to. They still did not mop everything from up here. Let's do a mass mop command. There we go. They apparently did all of the cobalt here, which I find surprising, that we went through all that cobalt already, just doing the wires. Willow, what are you focusing on? Where is Willow? There she is. Okay, let's check on these. Our researcher is finished. Our farmer is... Our mechatronics engineer already is. So the only two people that still get research points is Willow and Steve. Willow's about halfway done. Suffocating. No, you're not. Oh, there is a lot of carbon dioxide over here, isn't there? Yes, there is. Why is it not sinking to over here? Is it because we have our oxygen so low down that it's not really pushing this over? Because we should be able to breathe in this area. Don't know, I think we do have to come down here and dig out more of this area. I kind of want to get down here and release all this stuff. Just so that all that is connected with this. Let's do the same with this area. What is going on? Oh, it's this whole area right here. It just has too much carbon dioxide. Which I don't understand, because we're not adding to it. We should still be making oxygen. There shouldn't be anything stopping this. Max pressure. Okay. So the polluted oxygen's not helping us. I'm gonna put an airflow tile there. And also right there, because they're taking too long trying to climb across this. Gino, you're gonna die. There we go. Okay, Will's back down here to finish building everything. Or that was actually Steve, and now Bert. I had a feeling Steve wasn't going to finish it. Now Willow's back down here. Let's do a mop all on that. And with this tile, they should be able to run across here now. Which should mean building this is done faster. Alright, did we start digging up here? We did not. We're still focused down here. They did, however, dig all this out, so now everything from up here should be able to come down. Which means that it's all filtering into this. Okay, now this whole thing is going to stay open. I want to go all the way down to here, because we're going to dig out most of this area as well. Like all this, not this area. We're just staying pretty chilled. Travado, you could have just went in here instead of going all the way up there. Just like these two are now. Okay, with that, I'm going to dig those tiles out. Because now our water shouldn't fill up that high under any circumstance. You don't have any filtration medium. There's a sage hatch. That's not good. I'm gonna get all that dug up. Pip egg? Pip egg. Pip egg 2? Pip egg 2. Put this on a 9. Put this on a 9. Grab what's in here, and we do have the prediction finished. So let's see what we get in the pod. We have gloves, more clothing. Okay, and then like I said, we're going to start off the next one right away. And then this one is only going to be completed at the end of the stream. Because what we're going to do right now, while that's going, is the cats. So right now, we are slowly working on making everything not natural tiles. We did the whole right side of the colony. This is the bedrooms for all 24 reduplicants that we plan on having. There's going to be a bedroom in here, but for right now, that's our temporary water sieve that is cleaning all this. I hear a noise. What did that noise mean? Oh, thank you for the new follow. Took me a moment to catch up on OBS to that. We're going to be doing the middle portion next, and then this left side is all for ranches. We're doing two different nymphs. So we have regular shine bugs, and then there's going to be sun bugs up here, because I like to play with the hospital being able to be fully used, even though I never run into needing to fix zombie spores. I still do sun bugs just for the fun of it, because it's a little bit difficult to do. We also have hatches, or those are pips. They're not hatches. Pips are here, hatches are here. Then it's going to be Drecos and Glossy Drecos. On the right side, it's going to be both poke shells and sandy shells. And then there's a small thing of Pacus in here. These two floors here are going to be one large tank at some point, but for right now it's a temporary mealwood food. And then right here is going to be Sweetles. Up here on the line with the bathrooms is going to be our incubators. This is going to be our Atmos suits. And then this large area that I don't really have marked out is going to be our SPOM, which is what we were trying to get to today. We put in a metal refinery, but we pretty much used everything of cobalt to just replace our wires. So we did most of the left side, and I did anything that branches off. So if we can't just go one big line at once, I did them first. We got pretty much to our science thing. There's some right there. And then we ran out of cobalt. I am trying to stay away from aluminum because I do know what volcanoes are on this map, and there is no volcano, or there's no aluminum volcano on this asteroid. There is one on our neighboring asteroid that's connected. This one has two different volcanoes of cobalt. So I'm trying to use cobalt as our main metal. We have a biome up here that has some cobalt we're going through, and then over here on the left, there's a biome right here that we just didn't bridge over to, or dig over to yet. We could also go straight downwards, or keep going down at least, and go into this biome. I am a person that kills the slugs. Someone did point out that since I have a renewable source of cobalt at some point later on, that I could ranch the slugs just to get that little extra bit of power with them sleeping and also with the hydrogen. Just haven't decided on doing it. But anyway, I had just started them picking up everything in here so that the hatches stop trying to turn into sage hatchlings. So that's unpaused. We also do have the prediction up. Somebody put 10 points in clothes. Let's do our last pod of the day. I just want to click on it, but alright. And unfortunately, although we had 2 different things of clothing as our first 2, we now have a building for what I'm considering buildings. So if it's not a painting or a response like the balloons, I'm not considering it decoration, because you have to physically make the flower pot. So this outcome is buildings. Okay, what are we going to do for the last little bit of the stream? We do have Gino down here digging out this portion here so that our carbon has 2 different options to get all the way over here to the left, where our oxyferns are attempting to keep up with them. I'm trying to last the longest without putting the refined thing. What's it called? Carbon skimmer. Trying to last the longest without having to use it. Doesn't take that much to set up, but it still. Eventually it is going to be put in here, and this is going to be a carbon sink area. So everything's going to fall down here and then get sucked up by pumps that pump it up into a little room up here, which is going to be a closed loop of a carbon skimmer and its own water sieve. We do have a few dupes. We have 6 total, and only 2 of them are named. So if you guys would like to name a dupe, feel free. There is a 1,000-point redeem. It is also later used for vents and geysers. And it looks like... Oh, that's right. Will is the only one that we're getting one more skill point into, and then everyone else is full. For an added difficulty, we are only accepting duplicates that have 1 interest, just because it makes them a little bit more difficult to manage. And we are also not doubling up on a specific interest until we have 12. So the only interest we're not going into is exosuit training. So that leaves the rest of these as 12 different skill points. This is the 12th one. I was going off of all these. There's one here too. Is that 12? Why am I thinking that's not 12? That's 4. 5. Oh, because there's 2 researching. Never mind. I forgot there's 2 different things for research. Now, they should be able to come over here as well. Although Gino is our only digger. So I don't think anyone else has the hard digging. We are slowly draining everything down to this point. And also building down here so that we can expand our water storage. What I'm going to do here is dig out this entire area, because we need to release all of this water, which I would like to do by just one long tunnel coming all the way over here. Then that means we would also have to dig out all of this to at least right there. And then we'd need all this. Over time, that'll get done. I do have willows set up over here to dig out this stuff, but for some reason they're not coming over here to do this. So I think they're prioritizing something down here more than up. Because now Willow's all of a sudden doing that. Willow, I need you to do all of this first. Because we need that cobalt so that we can finish up doing the wiring, so that we can get our SPOM set up without having to worry about our wires breaking and us using more metal for just fixes. Could also move the ladder over to make it a little bit quicker for them to get up there, but eh. Do we really need to? This little bit of water's probably slowing them down as well. I'm gonna mark this for mopping, but I've noticed that they don't do mopping very quickly. That's probably gonna be there for a while. How is the carbon moving around? Now that it has a way to get down here, I do see it being pushed into this corner a little bit more than it was. So it's not really coming from the right and going to the left. It's more or less doing the opposite because we have our oxygen production here, which probably should be up higher so that the carbon gets pushed downwards instead of to the side. Somebody's scratching something, and it doesn't seem like a thing I want them to scratch. Okay, did Willow finish this yet? No. Willow is on the last ladder. And then Gino can get up here and dig out pretty much all of this, except for the stuff that's over here, until some ladders get put in. This amount of ore should last us for a few cycles, even if we're making it into refined metal. Okay, now I actually have to figure out what they're scratching at. So it sounds like they're trying to break through something. What are they doing, Milo? That's the alarm for us to raid out. I think they were just trying to get to their mom through the cardboard box that I have blocking them off from their mom. So we're going to do a little bit more setup for the next stream, and then we'll find someone to raid out to. I'm going to clear this for now. What are they up to? They're about to break through here. We're just going to let more water come down. I have to make sure that we still have a liquid up here. So we're going to sit here for a moment, because Gino is going to dig through all this. It looks like this is getting pushed up, so it might fill up this line. I'm not sure if it has enough to do that. We did just drop more liquid from up here. And I also said that we were going to dig out this whole area, which we don't have a way to get over here, so let's do that. Then we'll drop all this liquid down there. But right now, this is still within the polluted water. Why aren't they doing this? Because we ran out of cobalt until recently? I don't know. They did get this pretty much emptied. Everything that's red should be coal, because we're not auto keeping our coal. At some point we're going to have a sauna, and that's where all the coal is going to just sit in, so that we can make it into refined coal at some point. Okay, even with Gino digging out all these tiles, it looks like this will at least have one tile to get through. We're almost up here. I think I want to drain all of this just to have the water. Because I am getting worried that this is going to be too low. That alone should make sure that we stay above the pump. Just checking to make sure that Willow doesn't have the skill point yet. What is Willow building? Looks like this ladder. And this ladder. Okay. So Gino should be focusing on this. Willow should be... I'm gonna guess doing this ladder because it comes before this, but when we were doing all this and making sure that that had no natural tiles, Willow was going to weird things out of the way before doing the stuff closest to her. So although we see her doing it now, she might not stay over here. Although she is. Okay, I can get Gino to dig out all of this. Because they did finish all this. Alright, what else? Willow probably can do this stuff up here too. They haven't finished that off yet. Let's queue up another 20 cobalt. And do we have anything for Gino to do? That little dig command, but we need ladders. And they're trying to get through the cardboard again. Or not. It looks like they're actually just playing in the cat litter, which I think is weird. Anyway, why is this queued up to be mopped? Alright, we have hatches or supplier. I think we just got a supplier. So I'm gonna say no to that. And then this is probably good enough for us to find someone to raid out to. We have a refinery that is able to make the rest of the cobalt. We're probably going to spend all of Wednesday fixing the wires here. And then we'll start on the SPOM up in this corner. Which is going to be 10 electrolyzers. $15 oxygen pumps. And 10 hydrogen generators. I'm counting that right. So it's going to be quite big. We do now have all this liquid coming down. I'm going to continue the dig right there so that we get this layer. And I'm okay with it spilling over to here. I actually should set this up with all the water that we're going to need. Because this is going to be for sandy shells, and we need poke shells to turn them into sandy shells. We don't want water there. What I could do is dig out another tile through this whole thing. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should allow Gino to dig out this whole thing and keep it away from this. What? Mama was crying behind me. I don't know if it got picked up by the mic when I was talking. Willa did put some of the ladders up here, so Gino can dig out these 3 things of cobalt. Or really anyone, since it's only 1 hardness. Over here, we're almost done emptying out this entire room. Once this pip goes away, this box is going to be for seeds only, and this tree is going to disappear. We only need 4 trees. This is our nature reserve. Alright, now Gino has the ability to come over here and dig these out. And I think that is a good enough time to end the stream.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to catch me live, I stream on Twitch on Wednesdays and Fridays from 10 AM EST to 12:30 PM EST, and on Sundays from 10 AM EST to 2 PM EST.